Welcome to another episode of the Happy Whole You podcast. And today I have Rita Savoia with me. And you guys, she is going to teach us some different breathing techniques that are going to help you throughout your day. She also has and hosts some online breathing sessions, which you're definitely going to want to join one of those. And she is a certified nutritionist. She's a functional breathing coach, a yoga instructor, workplace well-being consultant, speaker, and mental health and longevity advocate. And she has an amazing story and lives at the highest vibration in life. She talks about her 6 pillars of self-care aimed at resetting you back to the basics and getting back to your breath for ultimate healing and health. She is a heart-centered practitioner and passionate about organizing local and international health talks, well-being workshops, and hosting retreats. You guys, Rita's amazing, and we are going to dive in. So here we go.
Rita Savoia, thank you for joining me on the Happy Whole You podcast.
Thank you for having me. Super excited to have this conversation.
Yes, and I'm really looking forward to this because you are going to talk to us about breathing and different types of breath. And so, but before we jump into that, can you just share a little bit about yourself and how did you get into this work?
Yes, for sure. So this is actually my second career. I was in human resources management. I had my own consultancy, but because of digestive issues that I was encountering, living an entrepreneurial life, not eating well, that's for sure, not sleeping well, super stressed out, I decided like I needed to do something about this. So I saw a functional medicine doctor, got to the root cause, eliminated a whole bunch of foods that were not good for me. And part of this and supplementation as well. And part of my whole protocol and journey was to chill out and de-stress. And so, yes, I chose yoga. I'm also a yoga instructor, but I went into more of the breathing and then the breathing techniques and breathing experiences, right? So, and it really chilled me out. I'm super like, I wouldn't say Zen all the time, but I find that breathing has really helped me to regulate my emotions, my reactions, and response to situations that are not pleasant and more stressful. And I'm not as angry as I used to be or freak out. And it really, I do need to contribute it to changing my breathing pattern, because if you can change your breathing pattern, you can change your state. And so that's why I decided to start embarking on this journey and really appreciating this modality and teaching this modality to as many people as I can in my practice.
What was that like for you when you first started? You were having these health issues, figuring out what was going on. And like, do you remember when you learned about breath work or what was like a kind of a defining moment that really captured you and your energy to be like, oh my gosh, I want to do this. I want to teach this, all of
Yes,
that.
so interesting. I usually say this in my introduction, but today I omitted it. I don't know why. And you've asked the question. So yeah. So the reason my aunt passed away in 2021, and we were very close. And I actually was grieving her death in a really it was taking me a long time to grieve her
Mm,
death and really embrace life again. And so I decided to use my own tools. I created a meditation and started breathing the elemental rhythm breathwork experience. And my intention during the breathwork experience was to reconnect with her for just one more time, and just
mm.
see her again, because she passed away in January, and by December she didn't really want to see anyone. So I didn't really get a chance to say goodbye properly. And during my breathing experience, I connected with her, and she actually gave me some business advice. I would talk to her about starting my own podcast, and that's how we met, right? Which is amazing.
Mhm.
And that was my aha moment. Like, wow, if I had such a beautiful transformative experience, then I want to teach this to others. And that was why I got really deep into the breathing and different breathing modalities, breathing experiences. I went on to get certified as a functional breathing coach because I'm a bit of a science nerd and I want to know the science behind all of these amazing things because we know
Yeah.
it feels good, but what's really happening, right? In terms of all of the different components. And then I got on, I also got certified in the more spiritual side of breathing and these
Mm.
beautiful experiences that, you don't really need plant medicine or psychedelics to have
Yeah.
because you can get, as Wim Hof says, you can get high on your own supply and have these out of body experiences too. So I have these sort of 3 levels of breathing certifications.
Oh, very cool. So, okay, so those people that are listening that are like, okay, I've heard of breath work, maybe I haven't done it. What do you mean you connected with your aunt like
Mm,
during your breath work? Like during your
yeah.
breathing, you connected with her? Can you explain what that was like? What happens? Like how did you connect with her during just your breathing?
Exactly. So, in terms of breathing, right, we can have like online breathing techniques that we can do in the moment, and we can talk about these a little later to help with stress, so either upregulate or downregulate the nervous system for creativity. There's all these beautiful techniques you can do online, and then there's stuff you can do offline, right, where you set the actual setting where you're super calm and relaxed, whether it's outside or in your own home with headphones, and there's music. And so the music also plays a role in how
Mm,
deep you go into the actual experience. And then there's breathing techniques that take you really into a very relaxed state. So we're tapping into that subconscious mind, right? So we're not up here in the logical mind, we're tapping into the different brain waves as well to help us into this meditative state. And then with the intention, that's why I love this experience where there's the intention that drives the experience. So my intention was to see her. And I do have to preface this that it wasn't the first time. I actually did the breathing techniques or the breathing experience a few times before I actually saw my aunt and had the
mm,
the visions of her and connected with her, right? And so it really depends on your intention and how much do you really want it and how deep you can relax so that you can tap into that subconscious mind and just allow that connection to happen, that out of body experience to happen, because we can all do it, but are
mhm.
we open to doing it and are we embracing it when it happens, right? Because most of us are
Yeah.
so tight and pensed up and stressed out that we can't even get to that stage of relaxation. So there's several stages and it might take you several sessions to get to that.
Mm. Yeah, I'll never forget my first deep breathwork experience where it was, yeah, with music and an instructor
Mm,
and like the whole thing.
mhm,
It changed me for the rest of my life. It was
mm.
amazing, amazing experience. Okay, so why does this happen? What is a little bit of the science behind it? Like, why, through our breath, are we able to connect with people that have passed? I know in my experience, I connected with my younger self when I was like
Right?
7 or 8 years old. It was very profound for me. Like, why does that happen?
So, yeah, I mean, in terms of the actual breath, so it's an autonomic nervous system function, right? But we can actually control it. So we can
Hmm.
tap into that nervous system, right? Into the parasympathetic nervous system, or as I mentioned, the sympathetic nervous system by tapping into that parasympathetic nervous system that relax, reset, reprogram, right? In terms of the nervous system. And then it also allows us through the vagus nerve and
Hmm.
heart rate variability to tap into those areas where it can connect us to that subconscious mind. And
Mm.
then we can actually connect again, depending on how open you are, your intention, how often you've done this, how easily and quickly can you relax. If we're always sort of up here, shallow breathing really quickly, even through our mouths and engaging that sympathetic nervous system, it's going to take a little bit of time to train the body to actually tap into that other side of the autonomic nervous system. So it's because breathing can control that, tap into, activate that parasympathetic nervous system where we can relax and
Mm.
lower the delta waves, right, of our brain. So we're not always logically monkey brain, go, go, go. So we can actually go deep into into the meditative state. Now, what I love about breathing is that most people cannot meditate. They find it really hard, right? And,
Mhm.
the vision of somebody sitting under a tree and meditating is a bit daunting, but breathing can get you there quicker. And I find that breathing was my gateway to these even more elaborate meditative states, right? So
Mhm.
that's what I love about breathing techniques, is because people that are usually type A go personalities, super stressed out and anxious, they want something to do. And when you're meditating, it's kind of hard, right? Because you're hard kind of just sitting there. But with breathing, you're still breathing. And so it just allows us to transition into this meditative state a little bit easier.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's like when we can relax, it
Mhm.
helps us connect to our higher self, and our higher self is connected to
Yeah,
everything.
exactly. So really tap into those altered states
Yeah,
of our consciousness without actually needing the psychedelics or the plant medicine, or it's
yeah,
really just your breathing allows us to tap into that. Yeah, it's all about really
yeah,
chilling out. We need to learn
yeah.
how to chill out again, And if you talk to our ancestors, imagine them listening into this conversation. Oh, they'd be like, "What do you mean you don't know how to relax? What's wrong with you?"
Oh my gosh. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I think that's why, like, I, like, go, go, go throughout the day, and I get a lot of information in my sleep. Like,
Mhm.
I'll
Mm,
wake up, I'll see things, I'll have
mhm.
dreams that are telling me information, and, so I think that's my body's way of saying, "Hey, if you just chill out during the day, you'll get even more drop-ins from us," you know?
That's true, yes.
But yeah, so okay. So you talked about that there's different types of breathing techniques, whether you're trying to like decrease stress or whatever
Mhm.
you're trying to work on. So what are, and you talked about, I think, did you say element breathing?
Yes, so the experience is called the elemental rhythm experience. So
Okay.
that because we breathe to the different elements, as
Hmm.
well as the rhythms of whether it's tribal music. It's really I always wanted to be a DJ, doctor, and now I
You are a
am.
DJ.
Yes. So every time a new experience, I put a new music list together, and I'm learning
Mm,
how to play the guitar to actually incorporate more of the live music, but I play the drums
wow.
and the shakers and all that
Yeah.
essential oils. So I play around
Yeah.
with also the scent, right? Because all of these things are so therapeutic, right? That
Yes.
really liven up our senses. So yes, so there is so when we think of the breath, we can think of it as either helping to upregulate our nervous system, right? Because maybe
Hmm.
maybe you need energy, maybe you need focus,
Hmm.
concentration. So there are breathing techniques for that, or some breathing techniques that are more suitable to help you down regulate your nervous system. And I think most of
Mm,
us in this go 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 society, stressed out society, we need more of the down regulating. So it
yeah.
really depends, which is beautiful, right? You can sort of choose even throughout the day. Maybe you want a more in the morning, you want actually a little bit more of a stimulating breath work
Hmm.
experience or breathing technique. And then in the evening, you want more of a relaxing breathing technique, right? So you can actually choose, or even that, mid afternoon uh, slump that most of us have, you can actually there's a technique called the coffee breath, and instead of drinking coffee,
Oh.
you can do this really stimulating
What is that? I wanna know what the coffee breath is.
okay,
How do
so
you do that?
amazing. Yeah, let's do that together. So what we want to do is we actually want to raise our arms up in the air and then close our fists. And so we're gonna over our shoulders a little bit
Okay.
higher. Yeah. So we're gonna inhale and then a forceful exhale, almost as if with your nose. So your mouth
Okay.
closed and with your nose,
Can only
and
pour
then
because I have
so maybe you
arm
need a
things.
Kleenex in hand because some stuff may come out of your nose because we really want to
Oh,
blow out really forcefully. So let's start in,
alright.
out, in. Let's do it a little bit quicker. In, 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 out, in, out. Yes, in, out. Yes, in, out. Beautiful. In, out. So I don't know if you're feeling any of energy, but it's the movement of the breath and then the
Yes.
speed of the breath as well. And as long as you're engaging more of your nose than your mouth, then you're also creating that nitric oxide where you're opening up
Yeah.
capillaries and you're sending fresh oxygenated blood to the area so that you're oxygenating that area. So you'll feel more alert. You won't really need that coffee, that exogenous caffeine in your system.
Mm.
You have your breath.
Oh my gosh, that's fun. I'm gonna have my kids do that with me in the morning.
Yes.
We could do like
Yes.
10 of them together.
Exactly. Amazing. That's what I love,
Yeah.
that these techniques are so easy there. And sometimes people underestimate breathing and they just want something more difficult, or they want like, that's it, really? That's it. Yes,
Oh my
sometimes that's it.
gosh.
So I love how you're saying that you can teach your kids, because that, again, for the viewers and
Mhm.
listeners, then let's do one for exams or tests.
Oh
Okay.
yeah,
So
that's a good one.
to
Okay.
calm your
Okay.
anxiety and your stress. So this one, we've known this since the 20s, really, this particular technique, but Huberman, so Dr. Huberman has actually popularized it. So he calls
Mm,
it, or it's called the physiological sigh. So what we're going to
okay.
do is we're going to actually breathe in twice, inhales through the nose. The
Okay.
first one is going to be a little bit, they're quick, right? But the first one is going to be a little bit longer than the second one. And then the exhale is going to be a sigh through the mouth. So I'll
Okay.
demonstrate. So it's, do it together.
Mm. Okay, yes.
Yes. So all you need is actually 2 to 3 of these, and it'll I don't know if you've noticed it, but
Yeah. I'm
yeah.
like, I'm
See,
good,
right?
girl.
See how quick it works? And
Okay,
think
what
about
is
it,
that
when
one called? I'm taking notes here, by the way, you guys. Okay, we
well,
got the coffee breath, and we're gonna put these in
yes.
the show notes.
The physiological side. So I can actually provide a 9, it's a PDF document, 9
Okay.
vital breathing techniques with the actual demonstration that you can click on, and why, when to use it, and how to do it. So I can
Oh my
definitely
gosh,
provide
this
that
is so
for
good.
free. But this one, think about it. When do you notice even your kids doing this?
When they're crying and they're
Yes,
stressed.
to calm
Yeah,
them
it's
down
a
from the
natural
crying.
thing. Yeah, that
Isn't that
makes sense.
amazing?
That
Yes.
totally makes sense.
Exactly.
Oh
Yes.
my gosh. I always say, like, when we get hurt, the first thing we do is we
Mhm.
put our hand on the injured spot because our hands are electromagnetic, and that is a
Mhm.
natural response. And now you're telling me about the breath and our natural response. Our bodies are amazing.
Aren't
Like, this
they?
is
I
so cool.
I know, I know. That's why when people ask me, "Do you ever like have a craving for McDonald's?" I'm like, "Hell no,"
Yeah.
because
Well,
that is
ew,
like
gross.
not supporting this beautiful like mechanism that we have, that really not even computers nowadays or AI can't
Yeah.
replicate, because it's just so beautifully and intricate in the way it
Yes.
works. Yes.
And you know what else I feel like just having this small experience with you, and then having the experience I had when I took my first breath class, and then the experience I've had when, because I teach once in a while I'll get this little itch to teach a breathwork class that I was trained by oh my gosh, why am I forgetting his name? Oh, this was a while ago. Uh John Paul Crimmy, do you know the anyways,
No.
I was to do a breathwork class. It's a pretty intense one. But I love teaching it. But there's something about doing it with others
Yes.
and the music. And then I bought this big old gong and I play the gong. So it's just like just this experience that I'm so fortunate that, we get to do this together and,
Agree.
gratefully people are going to be able to hear this. But I feel like there is something special when people are in rhythm with their breath,
Yes.
and it's like I used to be a runner and I remember when I would run and you could get next to someone and the person you're trying to keep up with, and when you started to sync your breath with them, it's like it
Mhm.
gave me energy.
Energy,
It helped me
100%.
stay with them. Yeah,
Because you're going with the rhythm, because everything in life is
is
rhythm,
rhythm.
right?
Yes.
Everything, including like the women's menstrual cycle, it's all about
Yeah.
like just a beautiful rhythm. So if you can actually, and there's a saying where if your breath is scattered, your mind is scattered. So,
Oh,
linking it
yeah.
back to
Mhm.
mental health and the importance of controlling your breath so that you can actually control your emotional response and your mental health as well. So
Mm.
yes, I love it. Do you want to know another one? Another
Yes.
quick one.
Keep them
And
coming,
this
girl.
and this one is so I love it. And this one is so easy and so silly that you might be like, okay, but there's a science behind this too. So we're
Okay.
just gonna breathe, inhale. So we always want to do it through the nose, right? So that we actually utilize the nose for its purpose. Because I say that it's not me. I actually read this somewhere and I started laughing when I read it. That breathing through the mouth is like eating through the nose. So how ridiculous is
Mm.
that? But
Yeah.
most of us are doing it, right? So
Yeah.
again, it's beautiful podcasts like these that people watch and listen to and actually get the right information. So we're going to inhale through the nose, and then the exhale is going to be a hum. So in, how beautiful is that? How
Mm.
relaxing is the humming? And nobody has to know you're doing it. You can just be humming,
Yes.
right? You could be humming
Yes.
your favorite song. So that might annoy somebody beside you, right? Especially if they don't like the song. But again, it's
Mm.
actually so versatile and like you can bring it with you anywhere. And again, we can teach our kids. And this is why kids are always super happy because they're always humming their favorite song. Now, what does humming actually do is
Mm.
nasal breathing in general will actually create nasal nitric oxide, right? Which is a
Mhm.
very powerful molecule, antiviral, antibacterial, beautiful vasodilator. So it opens up capillaries. It's actually what they were using to help COVID patients recover from COVID. And it's what they use in Viagra, right?
Mm. Here we go,
Then
you guys.
yeah, exactly. We can have our own Viagra with our nose. We can
Mhm.
create that, right? So humming through the nose will actually increase that production by some studies say 15-fold, some studies say 7-fold. Either way, it's increasing that production of nitric oxide. That's why you feel more relaxed after you do
Mm.
it. And this one, again, you can teach your kids. And I think it's really, really fun to be humming your favorite song too. And you can hum together and just relax even before
Yeah.
bed, maybe or at first thing in the morning, so you can get that sort of healthy habit right from the start.
Mm. That's good.
Hmm.
Whenever I have a client who is quite anxious
Mm.
and their vagus nerve comes up as out of whack and their nervous system's out of whack, when I work with them, one of the things I recommend that they do is hum.
Very
Hum or
cool.
sing,
Yeah.
because it helps to, yeah, it helps to regulate. So now they could just add that breath in, and
Yes.
that's so powerful.
It's so powerful and so easy.
It's so easy. Like, this is
Hmm.
way easy what you're teaching us. Okay, coffee breath, the physiological sigh, and then the last breath to the hum to work on that vagus nerve to calm the
Yes.
nervous system. That's so
Hmm.
good. Have you read the book Breathe by James Clear?
Yes.
Of course you
James
have.
Nestor. James
Is it
Nestor.
James Nestor? Okay, I don't know why I
Yeah,
said Clear.
well, no, I know why, because actually I talk about James Clear too. He talks about habit stacking, James Clear. He's
Oh,
the
okay,
habits
yes.
guy.
I've read that book too.
Yes, which I incorporate that into
Oh,
my
okay.
practice too.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that book, I read that book. I think it was actually during COVID, at the
Yes.
beginning of COVID, and I remember reading that book and I was like, "Oh, wow, we really need to breathe through our nose." And I'm really good at night. I don't sleep with my mouth open, but you know what's interesting? I noticed that like if I take a nap or I'm on an airplane, I literally sleep with my mouth open. I haven't looked up why this is. Do you know why when we take naps we breathe through our mouth more?
Ah, I
If we're
wonder. Okay, so
I don't know, 'cause I
yeah, if
do
you're
sleep at night
usually
with
a
my mouth
nasal.
closed. Yeah.
Right, right. Well, I'm thinking like at the airport or on a plane, you're just not sitting, or you're sitting, right? So you're not laying down. So that
Yeah.
could be why you're choosing to, and maybe, it's a little stressful and you're
Yeah.
kind of breathing more shallower, right? Quicker. So you kind of engage the mouth or vice
Mm.
versa. The mouth
Yeah.
will actually do that as well. I wonder why the nap. Again, maybe because it's a very short, you don't go into the REM, you don't go deep
Yeah.
into your sleep. So you're engaging more of your mouth or you're breathing more with your mouth.
Yeah. I always think about that and then I'm like, I'm gonna research this, and then I haven't yet. So if anyone knows the answer to that, please DM me and let me know because I just haven't taken the time to research why that is, or maybe it's just a phenomenon in my life where I sleep with my mouth closed, but in a nap, I'm like, I find myself with my mouth
Where
wide
are you
open.
napping though? Are you napping on the couch or in a different area than your bed?
Um,
Maybe
yeah,
that
it's
could
different
be.
than my bed. I mean, I don't take naps often, but I mean, I mostly notice it when I'm on an airplane. That's
Yeah.
for
So I think
sure.
it's probably that. You're just sitting instead of
Yeah.
lying down.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay, so you have 9 different breathing techniques for
Hmm.
different things, and you're gonna send the PDF for that, or you
Yes.
have that, or how can people get that? Because I
Yes.
think people are good, like, I need that in my life.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So I can send you a link and then they can just click
Okay.
on the link and they'll get it in their email box. Yes.
Perfect. And then so do you teach classes? Like, where can people
Mhm.
find you?
Yes, so I'm actually teaching classes online. So every new moon, I
Mm,
do this breathing experience where I talked about earlier, where we actually start with a little bit of shaking. So the shaking just allows us for about 5 minutes, and I do this online. You do it blindfolded. You have your headphones in, so you can listen really to the music and to my voice. And basically, we shake the body to actually release any tension, physical tension,
are you laying
stress.
down or are you standing up when you're shaking?
This one we're gonna stand and you're literally
Okay,
just shake, shake, shake.
moving things. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, just move. You can dance to express, not to impress as well.
Oh,
It's
I
totally
like
up to you. Yeah.
that.
And then after that, we're gonna go into a beautiful meditation. Sorry, intention setting. So after the intention, during the intention, we're gonna lay down. And then from then on, we're gonna be laying down after the
Mm,
intention. So remember, my intention was to connect with my aunt. Sometimes it's to forgive. If I'm feeling really heavy energy, I just want to release it. So, and it's beautiful because we harness the power of the new moon, which is all about new beginnings. So if you want to start something new, new
mm.
project or something, initiate something, you can harness the power of that new moon. And then we go into 6 different breathing techniques, and we do this for about 20-25 minutes, and then after that a 3-part meditation. So it's an
Mm.
experience, it's a mini
Yes, I
ceremony.
love
It's
that. I
so
need to
cool.
do that. I need to know when your next one is. I'm not very well versed in astrology and the moons. I mean, I'm like the person that I walk outside, I'm like, "Oh, it's a full moon," or I see on Instagram someone saying a full moon's coming or whatever, and
Hmm.
I just embrace it when I see it, but I'm not
Right,
like I
right.
couldn't tell you what's coming or what's happening. So,
Okay, okay. No,
yeah.
no problem. No, no. I was just always intrigued by it and always in awe. And I
Yeah.
do feel the energetic pull when it's a full moon. Like I feel so
Yeah.
tired. I don't know if you do as
Yeah.
well,
No,
but
I
yeah.
I literally do because there was a full moon a couple
Yes, it
nights
was
ago,
so
and I
intense.
was like, I do feel it. I just don't like like I'm not like, oh, this is about to happen. Like I don't know that.
Mhm.
I can feel it, but I'm not like fully understanding why.
Yeah.
And
Well, you know
yeah,
what? I'll
but
send
yeah.
you a message. I'll be like, listen, you might be feeling a little
Yeah.
tired or fatigued or a little off. And just, there's a huge full moon coming up. So, yes,
Yes.
I'll send
Give
you
me
a
the heads
reminder.
up. I need the heads up on that one.
No
Uh,
problem. So
but
yes, so
yeah.
there is this event that happens every month, and that's online. And then I do them in person as well. So I've been doing them here in Toronto, in Mexico, because I go away for the winter because the
Mm.
Toronto winters are way too long. And I'm actually doing them in Italy now. So I'm super
Oh,
excited. I'm
wow.
originally Italian. I did it last year for three different times, same yoga studio. And now I'm actually going to several different yoga studios and creating a bigger event. So I'm doing it in
Awesome.
2 different places. So I'm excited. And I'm also
Yeah.
certified. So I can also certify people that want to teach this. So I'm going to teach
Okay.
3 people that are interested right now. Hopefully that'll grow. And then they can actually teach it in their yoga studios without
Oh,
having
that's
me
so
there.
wonderful. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, because it's literally just another tool, right? When we
Yes.
know better, we can do
Mm.
better. This is why education is so important. We all need
Mhm.
tools for our toolkit, because our body is a machine, and so we need to have
Yes.
some tools when the machine kind of goes
Mhm.
another way than what we really wanted to do.
Gets a
So we
little
gotta
sluggish, yes.
yes. Oh my gosh, absolutely. Can you share with everyone your website and your Instagram and where they can connect with you?
Yes, of course. So my website is my company name. So it's Savoia, S-A-V as in Victor, O-I-A, selfcare.com. My Instagram is health happiness hacker. And I actually have another one dedicated just to breathing, mindful breathing coach.
I love that. And then you also are the host of a podcast, the self-care podcast. So you guys go check out her podcast. I was a guest on that podcast and you were a wonderful host.
Oh,
So
thank you.
I'm
So are
sure
you.
everybody who's hearing this are going to want to go over and have a listen to what you're saying every month. So
Yes, Self-Care Goddess podcast. Yes.
self-care goddess podcast, you guys check it out.
Mhm.
uh, Subscribe, download, all those things. So, all right, Rita, thank you so much for your tips. These are helpful. I think if we all just took the 3 tips that you gave us today and start using those on a regular basis, and then everybody click the link to get the PDF of all the 9 breathing exercises, and then let's jump on one of her full moon experiences. That'd be
Thank
great.
you. Thank you so
Awesome.
much. Thank you for the opportunity to share my passion about breathing. And I just want to leave the viewers and listeners with this, that when you can control your breath, nothing, no one can take away your peace, because you'll be so
Mm.
composed and you won't react, you'll respond. And you're literally one breath away from, increasing your lung capacity, your efficiency, your emotional control, like literally one breath away. So please tap into this beautiful, free, versatile, portable modality that we have available at our nose tip.
Oh my gosh, that's so great. So great. All right, Rita, thank you so much for joining me. And I'm just so grateful for all your knowledge and that you've dedicated
Thank
your
you.
life to sharing this with others. Thank you.
Thank you. I so appreciate you too. Take care. Bye.